Imagine an 8K shooting camera drone that fits into your pocket, costs less than about $700, and can be used with or without a remote. App on your phone too. That's the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It is your boy Brandon, and guess what? We got something special for you guys today. As you already saw by the thumbnail, we got a drone. This drone is manufactured by a company in China called 00 Robotics. This is the new Hover Air X1 Pro Max. It is a self-flying AI drone. There are a few of these on the market right now. DJI Neo and the DJI Flip. The Hover Air X1 Pro Max was introduced to us in August. The biggest selling feature of this drone is that it is the world's first ever 8K drone. Now, we're going to get into that a little bit more, but the thing that I really love about this and some of its features is this. First of all, you can activate it by simply pressing the button on the top, and you can see all your features and everything on this display there. You can set it autonomously to perform multiple flight patterns while keeping its gimbal stabilized and camera trained on you. I love that, and it's one of the biggest features of this drone. You can record high ultra definition video the whole entire time. But in my testing, it did come with some restrictions until the latest firmware update, and I am so excited about that. Now, I haven't tested all the 8K and all the flight modes, but we'll get to that again. Something else with this drone: no remote control unit of any kind. Not even the app is needed to operate this drone. It's not required. The drone uses facial and body recognition algorithms to track you. There is an iOS or Android app that definitely comes in handy because of all the features that it can do and a lot of things that you can access and control with the app that you can't control on the drone itself. Now, along with adjusting things like flight parameters, reviewing and downloading footage from the actual drone, the app can actually be used to fly or control the drone aircraft manually via the touchscreen interface that you have on your app when you actually download it to your phone. Now, as I said earlier, right when I was making this video and as I was doing it, there was a new update to the drone, and I'm glad I was able to put some things out when this update came that is probably haven't put out before. This brings a few new features to this drone that really makes it stand out now over the competition. All right, some things that they said that they were going to add, and they immediately added these things to this update. So let me quickly highlight some features of this drone. Let's talk about it a little bit. 192.5 grams, so it's very small. You don't have to get it registered with the FAA. A 16mm f2 lens, so good definition. High resolution video, 8K 30 is the maximum. Now, if you look at other videos online, you will hear that the 8K was only available in 2 flight modes. But now, with the new update, you can actually access the 8K that is provided in all flight modes. So it doesn't matter if you're in a hover or follow, anything. You can now fly this in 8K. It is an actual 8K drone now. You can actually film it vertically also with 10-bit HLG. It has a battery life of around 15 minutes. It's adjustable, of course. That's depends on how you fly. It even has a more fast forward flight speed of around 26 miles per hour, but it can track you in short bursts up to 37 miles per hour, which is around 60 kilometers an hour. My God. Long Wi-Fi range around 500 meters, 1640 feet. The ability to go over water, snow, solid ground, and everything. A lot of those things was updated, so it can fly over different terrains. 64 gigabit internal memory, and you also have an SD card slot on the side for an additional 1 terabyte storage. Oh my God. Also featured on this drone, it also has a rear collision detection and avoidance system. Now, in a second, we will go outside and I'm going to do some demonstrations for you and show you a lot of these things. I'm also going to put it on my electric bike that actually goes 27 miles an hour, and we're going to put this thing to a real test. Now, before we do that, I want to go over the kit that I got with this. This kit is actually considered the cycling combo with just 1 or 2 things, because I didn't actually get the cycling combo. They sent me the drone, and then I asked for a few more things to include that I thought was absolutely necessary. So let me show you the kit and let me show you what it came with, let me show you the things that I have with mine. Here is the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. All right, it's all, as you can see, the propellers are all guarded. You do have this removable battery right here. All right, they give you 2 of these. I'll go over this in a second. And then you have your gimbal lens right here. It does have an ND filter on it at the time. Right now, we will get to that in just a second as well. But this is the Hover Air Pro Max. As you can see, it can fold like so. All right, it's really easy. As if I stand up, I can put it right here in my hoodie. So you can kind of see, kind of gives you an idea of how small it is. Let me find my phone. So if I have as you can see, look, this is the 16 Pro Max. So it's taller than the 16 Pro Max. If I know somebody's gonna be like, why don't you turn it sideways? All right, if I was to turn it sideways, kind of like how the propeller guards are, as you can see, it's around the same width as, this has a case on it as well, but around the same width as the 16 Pro Max with a case on it, all right, besides the middle. So that kind of just gives you a size comparison of it connected compared to the iPhone. Next, they send you 2 batteries, all right, and they send you a battery pack. So let me put this out the way. So this is your battery pack. This is connected through USB-C, all right, and they give you 2 batteries that comes with it. They go in here like so. This little thing lights up, and it gives you like these little battery indicators right here to tell you how fully they are charged, and it can be charged to Type C, all right. So this is the battery pack that comes with it. They also sent me the beacon, all right. This is the beacon that it doesn't come with it. It comes with the pack I got, or you can buy this separately. We're going to get more into the beacon in a second. It has this around like a 2-inch LCD on here that can pair with your Hover Air Pro Max, and it's pretty cool. With the beacon, they sent me 2 clips. You have 1 clip that it kind of has like a GoPro mount on the bottom of it, so you can, let me see here, let me see if I can do this. All right, so, okay, there we go. So it snaps in kind of just like this, and as you can see, you have the 2 prongs right here on the back. There you go, see that right there? All right, the next mount that they sent me is more of a belt clip that goes with the beacon as well. So if I put this in here, it has this belt clip right here on the back of it, and you can connect this to your belt while you're flying, so the drone can, when the drone is connected to the beacon, it picks up the beacon versus the phone, and we're going to get into that as well. But as long as it knows where this beacon is, and you're going to see this from the video outside, it will always follow. So if you want to go ahead and connect this to your belt clip, you can as well. And then they sent me these ND filters. I did come back and ask them for the beacon and the ND filters. With the ND filters, you get 4 ND filters. You get a ND 8, 16, 32, and 64 ND filter. All right. Now, the ND filters, I want to show you this real quick. All right. That way I don't have to worry about it in the video. But these ND filters, when you first get them, until you get used to them, they are really hard to put on. They are not magnetic, all right? It's not like you can just take the ND filter and just bam, and it's on there. It actually has to slide in between these grooves This is gonna be really, really hard to show you, so I'm gonna do my best. Right now, it does not have any filters on, all right? But I don't know if you can really see this, but there's those little notch or little groove right there on the top that you have to slide it down. When you initially take off this is the initial one that comes with it. This is not an ND filter. This is made more just like a cover. As you can see, there's nothing in it. There's no glass, there's no nothing, all right? This is what's initially on the drone when you first get it, okay? So if you want the ND filters, as you know, we are going into the summer months and it's about to start getting really more bright outside and getting hot and things like that. You should really never fly a drone without ND filters. I don't care if it's a six stop ND filter, 10 stop ND filter, 4 stop ND filter. You need something on your drone to help, you know, to help it from working so hard, that shutting down your shutter speed, shutting down your aperture, stuff like that, to get that really nice good video. So the less your drone has to work in order to give you a good shot, the better. So normally in the summertime, I will probably always keep the ND64 ND filter on this drone, unless it's golden hour or something like that. But normally it's super bright. I'm in Virginia Beach, so it's really no obstructions. Like, it's always sun, just straight sun. So I'm probably always going to have either a 32 or a 64 ND filter on here to help cut that amount of light, so I continue to get really, really good video. All right, but when you initially have this ND this cover on your drone, when you first get it, you have to take your thumbs and you have to push up. All right, I didn't see a lot of people explaining that in a lot of videos that they have, and I had to really do it myself, because the camera is on this gimbal and is really scary. All right, because at any given moment, you can, if you don't really know your strength, you can take this thing and break it really, really easy if you're not careful. So I highly recommend, if you're putting ND filters on there, be careful. You can't be scared of it, because you have to push it off, and it will come off, and it comes off like this. When you put the ND filter on here, as you can see, it's like a L. The higher part right there at the top, there's like a groove. It slides down into the groove on the camera like so. So once you feel it go into the groove, then you can take it and push it down. All right, and you have to see, this wasn't in the groove. You have to make sure you get it in the grooves, and when you do, there you go. Now it's on there. All right. So this beacon, it's a little cubit thingy. All right. It has this nice little like 2-inch OLED screen on it. It's touchscreen also. It's a touchscreen interface, and it has 2 control buttons. All right. These 2 control buttons serve as an alternative to the app, like the app on your phone, for remotely controlling the drone. Yes, you can remotely control the drone with this beacon. Adjusting settings. You can also view a live video with the beacon on here on this screen. It gives you a live video like you would look at on your app. The beacon also boasts this amazing wireless communication range up to like 1 kilometer, which is around like 0.6 miles. So it's really, really long, and it claims to help with the drone when it's trying to like come home or find your location a whole lot better than the app. As long as you have this beacon on, you're good. It'll find a beacon. Off to the races, just like a regular controller. So let's go outside now and do a few tests on this thing and how it flies, and then we're going to come back in. We're going to talk a little bit more about the app. I'm going to tell you some things that I like, what I don't like, areas of improvements, and my final thoughts. Okay, let's go. All right, so we outside now. There are a lot of variables that is about to go into this review of the HoverAir X1 Pro Max. All right, so let me tell you a few things that I'm doing, all right, before we get started. First, I'm going to be recording kind of a POV shot from my DJI Osmo Action 4. All right, I am using the DJI Mic 2. I am recording you right now on the Osmo Pocket 3 because it's just a much easier setup for me to bring this out than to bring all my cameras out. I do have a 6-stop ND filter on the Osmo Pocket 3. And here is our Hover Air. Now, again, Hover Air did send me out the ND filters that go with this. As you can see, it is a very, very, very bright day out here. I mean, the sun is beaming. It's been a while since we had that. We got some good weather, and we also got a little wind out here. So I am going to be using the Insta360 X4 for our rear camera just to get a nice view on the Hover Air. And I also am using the beacon. All right, we're going to be using the beacon today, guys. I'm not using my cell phone, so I'm going to be using the beacon. That's why I have my POV to see how it tracks, to record everything with it. Now again, the bike that I'm using is an electric bike. All right, this bike is capable of going 28 miles an hour. So the Hover Air can go to 27 miles an hour. So I'm going to see how this thing really keeps up with something that I know can go 28 miles an hour. A lot of the reviews that I've seen, there have been some things that get up in speed and things like that. That actually goes, the max is 28 miles an hour, 27.5 or something like that. So I know if I'm full max on my bike, this should be able to keep up with me. So we're gonna try it in a few different scenarios, all right? We're gonna try dolly track, we're gonna try side track, we're gonna try a few things, and we're really gonna put this thing to the test to see if it can actually really keep up with something that's going that speed, all right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start up our beacon right here. So as you can see, I don't know how well you can see that right there, but if I move, you can see that it is connected now. Right there in the camera, you can see it right there on the beacon. All right, so we're gonna start with dolly track, all right? So let me turn this around. All right, so we're gonna start with dolly track. That's what we are flying at mid-high right now.
Ski mode.
Uh-oh.
Dolly track. Middle. Dolly track.
Dolly track. Dolly track. Go. All right, so right now I'm not bad. Right now I'm going 10 miles an hour. 13 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour, 17, and I lost it at 17 miles an hour. All right. Okay, so check. I think I lost it at like 17 miles an hour. We're gonna go to dolly track again. Try this one more time.
Dolly track.
All right, it's recording. So we're gonna do dolly track again. All right. Now again, it is fighting against the wind and everything. Right now I'm only going 7 miles an hour. We're gonna make a corner, turn, see how it turns. Swoops right back in front of me. All right, 9 miles an hour. 11 miles an hour. 12. All right, we're gonna slow down. We're gonna make a turn real quick. We're gonna test it. Ooh, right in front of me. Whoa, watch out. See, where to go? Oh, it went in somebody's yard. Come on. Come on. Yeah. See, so if it moves too fast, then it's gonna lose itself. 6 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. Again, we're using Dolly track right now. See if it avoids the trees over there. Yeah, okay. All right, now we're gonna give it some speed. We got a straightaway right here. All right, let's see how it goes. Ready? Here we go. Let's go. All right, 11, 13, 15. Trying to keep up, trying to keep up. 16. Uh-oh, where it going? Where you going? It's going crazy, it's going crazy. I see it on my beacon, it's coming, it's following me, it's keeping up. But it's not in Dolly track, I don't know what it is. Let me see, what are you doing? I'm gonna slow down for it. So it's tracking me from the back right now. It's following the beacon. That's what it's doing. Even though it's not in Dolly, I don't think it's in Dolly track because it's not coming around me. But I'm looking at the thing. It is following me right now. Let's see what happens. Well, that's one good thing about the beacon. When it lost me, it picked up on the beacon signal. So I'm at 11 miles an hour right now. So let's see how this thing does. Let's test this thing for real. We about to give up to speed right now. So it already lost me in Dolly track, but it's still following me. Now let's see what you do. 15, 18, it's still on me. 22, 25, 26. It's still following me. Look at that. All right, let's slow down. Let's slow down. Look at that. Okay. It's following the beacon. 26 miles an hour. Look at that. And it's right behind me. I can hear it. Nice. Okay. It is following the beacon. All right. Let's put this down. Actually, let's turn around. So it is definitely no longer in Dolly track, but it was able to track the beacon.
Close. Follow.
So we're gonna try close follow first. I did see on a lot of people's reviews that it tracks better. I guess it tracks better when it's further away. I guess you can see everything a little better. So right now it's in follow. Now, from what we just experienced when it lost Dolly track, it does pretty good in follow mode. So, and again, it's tracking the beacon right now. So right now I'm at 16 miles an hour. Let's give it some speed. 17, 19 miles an hour. I'm still being tracked. 21. Look at that. 23 miles an hour. Still coming. Come on, baby. Keep up with me. 25. Where you at? Where you at? 26 miles an hour. 27. Let's go. Now let's see how long it'll keep it. Let's see how long you keep it up. 27.5. He's still coming. He's still coming. Follow that beacon, boy. He's still coming. And it's windy out here too, guys. Oh, what does that say? Please keep the target. Okay. Good job. It does a really good job, guys, in keeping up with the beacon. Even though I know it really couldn't see me, it is following like it's supposed to. That is a great thing. The beacon is what you need. There is no doubt about it. And it's right on my butt too. Oh no, it's tracking. It's still red, so I know it's still tracking. Wow, good job. All right. Give me a low battery warning. All right. All right, so we're getting a low battery warning. So we're gonna go ahead and change out the battery. A low battery warning. So again, with the Hover Air X1 Pro Max, you do get 2 batteries, around 16 minutes of flight time again. But again, it depends on how much you're pushing this thing and how much is working. Because of course that uses up more battery, right? So we just pushed this thing like 27 miles an hour back and forth. It was doing some crazy stuff with it. So it is what it is. I'm gonna give my thoughts on that at the end of the video. And we're gonna go try this again. Okay. So ski mode is supposed to keep that thing really like coming at you. Right now it's in ski mode. Ski mode is for that speed. Let's turn it on. Let's turn on it real quick and see what it does. Boom. Keep up with me. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? 20 miles an hour. You keeping up? He's keeping up right now. Ooh. Ooh, keeping up. Turn on it real quick. Watch this. He's keeping up. He's keeping up. I'm gonna turn on him again real quick. Turn on him again real quick. Watch this. Hopefully you don't hit nothing. No, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. He's still in ski mode. Look at that, okay. He's keeping up. Uh-oh, here we go. Going across the street, watch this real quick. Boom. Where you at? Don't hit the car. And we are back. All right, guys, so we're outside in the backyard. We're going to do just a few tests so I can show you guys what the Hover Air X1 Pro Max can do. Now, I know you guys seen the 1,000 videos on YouTube already about the Hover Air, but I just want to go over a few things since the update, all right? There was a recent update, probably like a week ago, prior to this video, and I'm so glad that it came out before this so I can share a few things with you. So as you guys know, there are a lot of flight modes to this thing, all right? So I'm gonna just show you specifically just a few of them. Now, one of the first ones we have is hover. This is hover. So we're gonna go ahead and select hover.
Cycling mode.
And you know, one of the great things, and I know a lot of people hit on this, but you have this little 1 inch or so display on here, and you can just, at the tap of a button, you can change whatever flight mode you have, and then you can press the button and then it'll take off instead of always using your app to do everything. So hover, right now I'm in my settings on my phone, so I have hover set to, and we're only shooting 4K 30. Now again, before this video came out, there was only a few flight modes, again, that was only subject to 8K. Now you can shoot everything in 8K, but for the purpose of this video, we're shooting everything in 4K 30 in every mode. So in hover, I have it in continue, all right? That means that it is going to sit there. It's not going to just go up for 30 seconds and then come down. You can program that with through the app, and it's a whole lot easier doing it on here than something like your beacon. And it's just basically H.264, and then we're going to switch to hover mode. You press the button. All right, so this is hover. All right, and it's basically just going to sit there. I can just basically move around, and it's basically just going to stay there. That's all it's going to do, is just going to rotate and follow me. All right, so again, in any of these modes, one of the things I do like is that you can take manual control out of any of these modes. But the thing about it is, unlike a lot of the other drones out there, if you're in one mode, you can't switch to another mode and do something else. So say for instance, I'm in cycling, or if I'm in ski, or if I'm doing something else, say sidetrack, and I wanted to go to Dolly, you can't switch like that. It has to literally complete, or you have to literally stop it, bring it back home, and then you have to change to another mode. That's kind of one of the things I don't like. I'll get to that in the end of the video. That was just your basic hover. Now let's go to, okay, so this is zoom out.
Zoom out. 10 feet.
It just turned red. So now it's going to back up and it's going to go do its thing. It's only going up to 10 feet, and then it's going to come right back to me. Here it comes. Now again, once it completes its whatever it's doing, it can still track me because I have tracking on. If I didn't have tracking on, then it would just keep looking that same direction. But since I still have tracking on, then it's still going to track me. All right, next we're going to do something called follow. All right, and then
Close.
From there.
Follow.
All right, so it has turned red. It is set to follow. So if I move, all right, this is what flat looks like. All right, this is flat. Now see, again, the thing about this is, if I wanted to change any seconds, let's just say I wanted to go to a high, I wanted to keep it in follow, but I wanted to go to a higher altitude or a lower altitude or something. I don't have a way to do that. And that's the thing about it. It only allows me to land it, and then I have to change those settings again. So that was flat. I know there were some people in the comments who asked me, what does low look like, low altitude? I'm going to go back to follow, and I'm going to change it to low. All right, and we're going to take off again. Now it's set to low. I'm going to show you how low it is. So as you can see, it's kind of down there on my butt a little bit. But this is where low is, all right, compared to the other ones. So we're going to press use Dolly Zoom. All right. So now we're going to press it. Now I haven't used Dolly Zoom yet, so we're going to see what this looks like together.
2.6 feet. Dolly Zoom.
So it's set to 2.6 feet. See what happens. So it's backing up, and I'm guessing as it's backing up, it's zooming in on me. As it's probably going to come back forward, which I thought so, and it's probably zooming out at the same time. All right, I see. Huh, okay. Dolly track, I think I've used this already. I'll show you what this is. This is just close. This is just a close flat shot right here.
Close. Dolly track.
All right, so once it goes, wait till it turns red, and now it's red. So that means basically it's going to, come on, there you go. So now let me tell you something. Here's the thing about Dolly track. Dolly track is made to be in front of you, right? So let me show you something. If I was to do like this, now you see Dolly track is on the back of me, or on the back of me. Until I turn around, it will do what it's supposed to do. But as soon as you go away from it, it's like you immediately switch modes, all right? It's not gonna track you. It's not like it's gonna swing around or the algorithm knows your face and knows it's in front of you. So it's gonna swing around to wherever you're supposed to be at.
Sidetrack.
So we'll do sidetrack.
Close. Sidetrack.
All right, so red is gonna go exactly where I told it to go. And then if I move forward, it's gonna be on the side of me. All right, let me come back here. Now again, there's a fence right here. If there's any obstacles, it's gonna hit that obstacle, all right? Because there's no obstacle avoidance on the side of this thing, all right? So if you going sideways and you run into something, it's gonna hit it. So you gotta be careful with that. The thing is not gonna do anything else that it's not supposed to do, all right? So if it's on the side, it's on the side. If you're dolly tracking, it's gonna dolly track, all right? Don't expect it to change directions with you and do what it's supposed to do. It's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do. But if you do something else, don't expect it to be like, oh, hey, you know what? Here's my face. Why didn't you swing around and do what you're supposed to do? It's not doing that. Maybe something a little bit more advanced, more algorithms in the future, but it ain't going to do nothing it ain't supposed to do. All right. But yeah, man, that's it. So let's go ahead and go back inside and finish out the video. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so that was absolutely fun. All right, let's talk about some of my final thoughts about the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. Talk about some of the pros first. The tracking is absolutely amazing. Some of the best tracking that I've ever seen on a drone, period, hands down, point blank. The Hover Air X1 Pro Max, the algorithms that they did with that thing, even when I had like the Mini and the Maverick, this thing is on a whole nother level with this tracking algorithms. Hands down, I'm not gonna even lie to you. This thing is amazing when it comes to tracking. Like when it locks on, like it is sticky, all right? The video quality in this thing is stunning. I love it. I haven't really used it in 8K, all right? But I do plan on doing another video with this thing in 8K and seeing how this is, seeing how big the files are. Like I didn't put any of that video in here. A 4K file versus how big an 8K file is. How much space is going to record, like all those little knickknacks and parameters. I didn't do any of that, but I'll give you probably an update in a future video. But the ability to record in high quality 8K video now in any flight mode, that's something that I know a lot of people was waiting on, and Hover Air 00, man, you guys delivered. Really appreciate you guys for getting it, and it came and it got out there quickly. The beacon is innovative, man. I cannot tell you enough about the innovation of the beacon. When I connected the beacon to the drone, it don't matter how fast I was going, it would follow because it was really connected to that beacon. Now, it did give me that little warning thing saying, hey, you know, slow down basically, or wait for the device or whatever. That's basically what it was trying to say. But all in all, man, like, being able to have that thing just fly and do its own thing, a lot of times I like connecting it to the beacon, but at the same time I like connecting it to the phone as well, because the phone is a bigger screen and I can adjust the parameters and things a whole lot faster and easier with the phone versus with the beacon. So for me, I think it has some different factors for me. I feel like if I'm going somewhere on my electric bike and I really don't want to have to worry about the drone or if it's going to be tracking me or get lost, most of the time I'm probably just going to put it in follow mode and I'm going to connect it to the beacon. But if I'm trying to really get some cinematic stuff, I'm probably going to be using the phone, which makes more sense in those different type of scenarios. But if you're going skiing, if you're doing something for a very long time and you just need that thing to follow you or side track you or dolly track you or whatever the case may be, and you're going to be doing it for a very long time, it's probably going to be better to connect it to the beacon. But for me, like if I'm doing like a photo shoot, or if I'm not going anywhere for long periods of time, if I'm going to be stationary, or if I'm going to just be doing something for a few seconds, I would rather just connect it to the phone than to connect it to the beacon. Or you can have the best of both worlds and get the joystick and connect the joystick to the beacon and put your phone to that, and now you have the whole thing right there at your hands. So hopefully I can get with Hover Air. I do really want to get that joystick because I just think that that is just one of the most super innovative things that I've seen. And I think I really love this thing. You can tell this thing to come home with this. You can tell it to, you can make it go left, right, up, or down with the beacon as well. You can cancel home with this. If you don't want it to come home, you can kind of fly it manually. It's not the same as flying it with your phone. That's it. I mean, honestly, any more pros with this thing, I just think it just flies phenomenal. I think it did a great job handling the wind. I wanted to test it in more crazy environments, all right? But I'm so glad I was very able to test it in a really great windy situation. And for it to be so small, it really held its own. Now, one of the things I did not show you guys was manual mode. In manual mode, you can really control how this thing turns, goes up, goes down. You can just the horizontal, the vertical, and all of these things if you're going to fly this thing in manual mode, or how fast it turns, how fast it rises, how fast it descends, things like that. Let me tell you, if you put all those things all the way up, this thing, and I am not kidding you, this thing almost flies just as fast as an FPV drone. It flies really fast. I'm telling you. It's really hard to kind of do it on your phone because it's touch. Your phone and the app is touch. I think the best way to fly this thing manually is to get the dual joystick and connect it to the beacon. That way you have like the joystick things. I think that'll make it a whole lot easier to fly. If you want to do any manual flying as well, I definitely think it's something that is great to have. It's a great addition, and it gives you that flexibility versus always having it to fly autonomously, with the flight modes. So not only can it be a really good autonomous self-flying drone to do a lot of things you want to, but if you just want to go out and explore sceneries and stuff and do your own thing, you can fly this thing as fast almost as an FPV drone. This thing flies fast, man. And I actually really love flying this thing really fast. Like, it was fast. Now, let's talk about some of the cons. All right, so the first con, obstacle avoidance. Obstacle avoidance can definitely be improved. I think sometimes, even when I was backing up, it was still run into like the fence and different things. It works at times, but sometimes it don't work. I really think that obstacle avoidance can really be improved. I don't know if it just doesn't work in manual or if it don't work in certain flight modes. I know when I was doing dolly track and I was intentionally backing it up to see if it would hit the fence, like it was hitting stuff just off rip, and I didn't know why it was doing that. Even if you go to the app, you have to turn on or off that avoidance. It gives you that option to turn it on and off, and I made sure that obstacle avoidance was on in all of those flight modes. I always have that on. It don't matter what it is, I always have that obstacle avoidance on. So, see, the ND filters. I wish they would have just made more magnetic ND filters. I really think people are going, if you're not careful, you are going to snap that gimbal, all right? Because those ND filters are really hard to get off and get on. Once you get the hang of it, it's not as bad. But somebody who is not experienced, I think that they're going to get a lot of people breaking those gimbals in that camera, trying to get those ND filters on and off of there. I would have loved to see them just come out with something much easier, something magnetic where you can just, go on there and it's, it's in that groove and it's on there with no issue. But I definitely don't like the way you have to forcefully put that thing on and off. Battery life. The battery life on the Pro Max, I don't have the other one that they had, the Pro, or the one that came before the Pro Max, but it says that the battery life is improved to 16 minutes max flight time. That's in optimal conditions. If you are flying this thing and you're going fast, that 16 minutes feels more like 11 or 12 minutes. It really, really does. 16 minutes is more, again, for optimal conditions, like perfect conditions, and you're not pushing this thing to the limit. It's not really like using that battery like it's supposed to. If it's just smooth sailing, you're just, you know, trying to get some nice little easy shots, then you can get about 16 minutes out of it. I would shoot more towards 12, 13 minutes, depending on how you're flying it. So that's just hopefully that's just in my testing. Hopefully in the future they might come out with, you know, a super, like a +1 battery that might give you more like 22, 23 minutes, because you have so much fun. I mean, this thing is fun and you have so much fun with it. I found myself having to stop and charge the batteries more often than I wanted to. White balance. There's no white balance update. Hopefully, I think that'll come in the future. They said that might come with a future update. Magnetic filters. I already talked to you about that. One thing that I did notice, you can't have the beacon and the app connected to the drone at the same time. So even though this might give you more of a signal, a better signal, so the drone will always know where it is, you have to either have the beacon connected or the app connected. You can't have both. And I don't know if that's a thing or not, or whatever, or how I feel about that. But I would have loved to have this connected just so it could track this signal. But at the same time, I would have loved to be able to see a bigger screen and adjust everything at the same time to fly it when I wanted to. But you can't do that. You have to use one or the other. Until next time, man, I will see you guys in the next video, man. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about this. If you have any questions about the Hover Air X1 Pro Max, leave them in the comment section below. I will make sure to get with them. If I don't know the answer, I'll reach out to 00 and see if they can give us a answer about any kind of questions that you guys have, man. But until then, it's your boy Brandon, aka Kevin Hart of Photography. We'll see you in the next one. I'm taking my drone. Let's go fly.